are y'all? None of you started using your fireplace. You didn't know what to think about that this week. All right, everybody take a deep breath. I didn't say let it out here. Let it out. Think about what happened this week. Crumple it up in your mind. Toss it. All right, we're here to worship. That's what we're here for. All right? So just get that stuff out the door. All right? So, just a few things. If you don't, there's a small army man. There are baskets at each door. Make sure you pick up one of those to remember to pray for our military. We have copies of daily breads for October, November, December. Make sure you pick those up for yourself and take them to distribute to different places. Take as many as you need. We got plenty. So take those for yourself and for others. And also, we have these yellow sheets for people that want to know about our church. You're talking to people, hey, you go to church somewhere? No, yes. Well, hey, let me give you some information about our church. It gives everything you need to know about how to communicate. And also, if you'd like to go to Meccan Abbey, we have a sign-up list. That will be at the end of November, the 1st of December. Look at those dates in the bulletin. We have a sign-up list. Days that you would like to go, we'll try to coordinate where we can have a group to go. And then also, that October 31 is trunk or treat. So we're going to need about 3,200 pieces of candy. Everybody takes a breath. All right. Ramsey, you're going to bring 3,000 pieces of that. Not really. But anyway, we need to do that. We make bags up. We put tracts about Jesus Christ in there with it, and we give them out. We gave over 800 last year. So we need about 3,200 pieces of candy, so just start bringing that in. We'll assemble all those things on Wednesday, October 30th. We're waiting to hear from Holly Hill Police Department when exactly trunk or treat can be. They determine the days. It might be on actual Thursday night, October 31, or they may choose an alternate day, so we're waiting to hear. But we still need the candy to start coming in. And then October 12th, the Hebron, the Grace Home, they're having their annual homecoming. October 12th, that's on a Saturday, and we are all invited. So make sure that you save that date. And that time, I think in the bulletin is 11:30 a.m. They want you to get there. They have a meal, and then they have a service, and then they have, in that service, they have some preaching and testimonies and music from the people that have gone there or are currently there. So let's support them on that, October 12th. We still have a few people to, we need nominating committee members too. We need children's music, and we need some 1st to 6th grade teachers. And make sure you see Karen about that. And if you don't, we are going to start volunteering people. You will get a call. And you will say yes. Yeah, I hear that laughing. Okay. Anyway, so, well, thank you for being here today. If you turn in your bulletins, you have an insert in the presence of Jehovah. Let's stand. As we go to the Lord in worship, we come to worship the Lord. And that's what we're here for today. To worship together. Everybody sing. Most privileged to have a worship together. Thank you for who you are, for what you have done, what you are doing, and what you will do. In your name I pray. Amen. Let's stay standing. We're going to turn to number 6. Number 6, not a far turn if you start at the front. Number 6, immortal, invisible, God only wise. Sing all 4 verses. One of the things that we can participate in as we give and pray is there are different multi-ethnic churches in South Carolina. Different people have come into this state from different parts of the world. Through refugee status or work, whatever the case may be, they're here. Some of the people represented here come, they're Chinese, Korean, Indian, Burmese, Hispanic, Cambodian, Haitian, Kenyan, and Brazilian, just to name a few. Now, a lot of these people, English is their second language. And so the South Carolina Baptist Convention has people working in these places to where they have churches that are set up to where they can worship in their own heart language. Now, how would you like it if today we did the whole service in Swahili?
Probably wouldn't understand that.
You probably huwezi kuelewa kabisa kwa sababu hujui lugha ya Kiswahili. Lakini, wait. See, Pam's laughing because she knows exactly what I'm saying. By the way, she is here today, Kevin. But anyway, it's good to talk in your language. When we have volunteers come over, we would encourage them to learn some greetings in Swahili. And some of them would practice and learn them. And I said, use it. I said, you might only know 3 words, 4 words, 5 words. Use what you know. And they would, but of course, as in any place, you start using that language. Well, they go, oh, hujambo, habari za asubuhi, hello, how are you? And I said, and then they're just going to go, oh, habari yako, habari za habari kwako, and then they're just going to go. And you're going to be sitting there going, I ain't got a clue what you're saying, but I did tell you hi. I said, so just go with it. I said, you're going to impress them because you learned at least some of the Greek. So, here we have people in South Carolina. We have different people from different places. They're working in these churches, and they're helping them to have some worship in their own heart language. And of course, again, volunteers, when they're immersed in the culture with us. But then when someone would speak English, boy, their ears would perk up. They know English because that's their heart language. So they identify. So let's pray. As we give, like I said, our goal is $500. As we give to the Jamie Chapman offering, we are enabling people who are working with these other culture churches here in South Carolina. It used to be, let's go to the world, let's go to the world. But as it's been said over time, the world's coming to us. The world is coming to the United States. A lot of them are already here. And God's giving us an opportunity to minister to them on, well, right now on friendly soil. It might turn one day where it's going to be hard to work to minister to people. But for right now, we have that freedom and opportunity. So let's pray for these people working in that way and thanking God that we can participate in this. So Lord, we thank you so much for the Jamie Chapman offering. We thank you for the people who are working with these multi-ethnic congregations. And we understand what it's like to be out of your home country, state, country, your home, your language, your culture, to be in another place, but yet to serve you and to worship you. And these people are here with us. So thank you that we can help support people who are working with them here, to minister to them in their language, and to be able to help them understand your word. And also, these people might not be staying here for a long time. They may be returning to their own country. And Lord, we can prepare missionaries to go back to those places. Thank you that we have this privilege to work with you in this way. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, let's stand. We're going to sing number 213. 213. We will glorify. We're going to sing all these verses. This is our offertory hymn. So the ushers will be coming on the last verse of this song.
Restroom calling. Got a restroom back there.
All right, boys and girls, if you come forward, please. All right. Good morning. She's gonna be hard.
Hello, everybody. Got back well this morning. How you doing? Yeah? Okay. Well, I know school's in session, you know, they change stuff. All right, how many of y'all plan to go to the fair? Y'all gonna go to the fair? Yeah? Okay. Cotton candy, animals, all that good stuff. You like seeing the animals at the fair? Yeah? Okay. Show you a picture. Got a picture. This is a picture of a famous sportswoman's story, and I'm gonna ask the adults to read. I need you to know what story that is. You got it? What'd you say?
Go ahead, say it.
There you go. That's exactly right. This is the colt Black Beauty, and this is his mom. Her name is Duchess. Okay, but her owner really called her Ted. Frankly, don't mind it. Okay, but anyway, both are both named back then. But anyway, this is the colt Black Beauty story, and his mama said to him, and I'm reading the story, okay, right here. I think you have never seen me kick a fight. I hope you will grow up gentle and good and never learn bad ways. Do your work with good will. Lift your feet up. Remember, this is the horse you're talking to. When you play, and never bite or kick even in play with friends. Okay? Now, think about that. You know, what does this have to do with me? Well, when you go to school, don't your parents tell you to do your best every day at school? Yeah? Do they tell you to be mean to your friends on the playground? What do they tell you to be? Be nice and be what? Good, right? Okay. You don't want to play rough with people and hurt them, do you? Okay. Because what happens when you play rough with people and hurt them? You get in what? Trouble. There you go. Trouble. And you know what? Adults sometimes make that mistake, and they get in trouble when they don't play by the rules. Okay? So it's important that you follow the rules at school and at home. You need to honor thy father and thy mother. It's the fifth commandment. It's the first one with promise. Okay, it says then you have the law of the life and do the right thing. Okay? But it's honoring and obeying those who are above you, teachers, parents, people in authority like the police, the firemen. They're there to help you.
charge. All right, thank you. Keep your lamp burning. Exactly what you need to do, especially where we're at now. Pam's here with us today. She's finished with her chemotherapy, and tomorrow she's really excited because she gets her port taken out. So she's really excited about that. And we were at the doctor's last week, and he asked her, "Are you ready to get that port out?" And she said, "Of course." And I repeated what Lindsay Nelson said, "Where are you going to dock your ships if you don't have a port?" The doctor liked that, by the way. Then I asked the doctor, I said, "Well, to save money, is there a YouTube I can watch where I can just do it, at home and just take it out?" He liked that too. They're going to miss us. It's been fun. And one of the PAs dared me. I told her that on Amazon, they make a lunchbox and it says human organ for transplant. Really? It's a lunchbox that they sell. You know, it's for discretionary people. And so I was telling the PA, Stephanie, about this. I said, I'm thinking about getting one. She says, I dare you. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, Randy. So, I'm cheap. I did not buy one on Amazon. But for Pam during chemotherapy, we had heard if you hold frozen water bottles and put ice packs on your feet, that might help with neuropathy. So I found a cooler. We were carrying all these things for each session. The only cooler I could find in Walmart was red and white. So I said, okay. So I went to Staples and I got me some stick-on letters. And on one side I put human organ transplant, and I flipped it over and I said, and for those of you who can't afford the real ones, I have street organs on the other side. They loved it. They loved it. Show them that. Pam just shakes her head. She goes home. But all that to say, we're finished with that part, and we were walking out of the doctor's that day, and when you walk out of the room, they have a big desk, all the doctors and the PAs or computers and things. And I walked out and I said, I hope y'all don't take this wrong, but I hope I never see you again. And they laughed and they said, maybe over lunch. I said, yeah, over lunch, but not here. And they agreed, totally agreed. So they gonna miss us. They gonna miss us. So anyway, she gets to go radiation. She gets all that fun stuff done on October 3rd, and then she starts that. That'll go through Thanksgiving. So anyway, just keep praying for her because they said, oh yeah, by the way, after radiation, you usually worn out too. You know, oh, right. Here we go again. So anyway. So remember last week we were talking about, and the week before we were talking about, we were in the book of Daniel. And we were talking about when he interpreted, well, God gave Daniel the interpretation for King Nebuchadnezzar's dream about the statue, the head of gold, the chest, and the arms of silver, and then bronze, and then the legs of iron, and then the toes, a mixture of iron and clay. And then Daniel had a vision that corresponded with the dream to give him a little more detail. And so when Daniel, he gets this interpretation from God, he has this vision, he's wore out. Because all this, can you see, imagine watching the whole scope of history. I mean, how many of y'all sleep in history class? Yeah, when the teacher starts in this date, this time, this thing, and you start, all right. Why is that so important? Well, Daniel was wore out because he was seeing this. God was showing him the vista of history from there all the way to the end of basically what we know as the history of the world. Now you got to remember Daniel, they think when he was about 15 years old when he was taken as a refugee to Babylon. Now, and they were going to be in captivity for 70 years. They're starting to get, I think Daniel maybe only had about 2 more years, and then they were going, and the Israelites were going back, leaving Babylon. So he was in basically his mid-80s. Now how many of y'all are really spry and really going at 62? I mean, and you get older, you get tired. Well, Daniel's working government job. He's an advisor to the king. He's getting all this. He's tired. And he gets all this. And so that's what it says in some of the passages that the angels help him to get up because he was wore out. So anyway, he's interpreted the dream. He's seen the vision. And now he's to the point where God is showing him even more. Remember, the gold basically stood for Babylon. And then the silver stood for the Medes and the Persians. The bronze was Greece. And then the legs of iron stood for the Roman Empire. And then the feet of iron and clay were basically a semblance of the Roman Empire, but not the Roman Empire. And so, and again, you go down in value from gold to silver to bronze to iron to clay and iron. Also, you go down in strength to where the feet are not good. And then remember the dream, the stone that no hand cut, hit the feet, everything was shattered, it was all done. And then the stone grew up to be the mountain, which represents the reign of Jesus Christ when he comes back to earth. So here's Daniel seeing all of this in the middle of captivity. So he asked God, can I get a little more clarification? Can I get a little more information, please? And one of the people I was reading, Warren Wiersbe, I don't know if some of y'all have ever heard of him. He's very good commentator. He said, if divine truth does not touch our own hearts and affect our conduct, then our Bible study is only an intellectual excuse to inflate our own ego. It's good to know all these things, but he said if it doesn't affect the way we act and serve the Lord Jesus Christ, it's just bragging rights, I know more than you do. He said this should change your life. And so Daniel, in chapter 9, we're going to do 9, 10, 11, and 12. And what was it? Marcy was asking me today. She said, okay. She said, how long do we need to go? 4 o'clock? I said, yeah, no funeral today.